Smoking. Smoking! The Carr Lincoln. Every amp we've ever gotten from Carr blows my mind. I own a little Raleigh that Steve pulled barn wood off of his personal barn in the back of his house to get because he knew I loved it, and he's an awesome dude. But this amp, this is special. So I'm Brett, moreguitars.com. I'm going to take you on a little journey because there's so much you can do with this amp. Kind of the idea behind it is a 2-channel amp, and I'm going to point, and I hope you can see it through this amp or this camera. But the channel 1 is a little, I guess you could say is the mellow side. I don't want to say it's like clean because it's not clean. I don't know that you could get it clean, like clean. But it can play somewhat clean. But it's volume, treble, and bass, basic, amazing. It's got bright and normal, which you can switch. The second channel has drive, tone, and master. It gets you a little gainier, and it's got a high gain and low gain setting. And then it's got a reverb for each channel, which is cool because you wouldn't necessarily use the same reverb for each side. You may want a little more reverb on the clean side, and then on the gainier side you would want a little less reverb. Okay, so you don't want it to sound like it's in a tunnel on that high gain side. So foot switch, I'm taking you through the specs, which are a little bit boring, but you got to know them so you know what you're getting into. It's got this channel selector, and then the high and low the drive selector on the high gain side. So let's get into this thing. I am playing, which I got to explain, this guitar, Larry, 69. This is how cool More Guitars is. Even our videographer has amazing guitars, and he's a better player than most. This thing is cool. Mini humbuckers. I owned a 78 at one point, and I regret getting rid of those mini humbuckers. And so he brought this today and surprised us all. So I'm going to use it. He let me. He said this once was used as a paddle for a boat in Katrina. He used to live in New Orleans, and he said in 2 different floods. This thing's been through 2 different floods, and he must have an amazing luthier because this thing plays better than most Les Pauls. So kudos, Larry, kudos. It's a killer guitar, nice and relict. Moving on, we're talking about the Carr amp. Sorry. Neck pickup with quite a bit of reverb. I'm going to take some of that out. I'm going to get it about as clean as you can get it here, and you could roll it back. But you can, it's still not clean. But that's not the idea of the amp. It's that channel 1's kind of a voxy kind of thing, and so let's go. Let's move it up a little bit and let's see what this thing will do. So I'm going to go into bridge right now, just for a moment. I know a lot of people don't do that, but. So it's got some cool spank to it. Let's mellow it up a little bit here. That's cool. I'm going to add a little bit more what they call volume, but it's actually, you're adding some gain to it. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. So I know like a lot of people like a lot of different tones, so we're going to go on a little journey together, okay? So I'm going to crank the treble. Some people like it bright, and let's just see what it does. That's usable. I mean, that's what the treble, you know, quite a bit of treble in it, and the bass kind of tucked out of it, and that's cool. You could use that all day. And that's in the, you know, that's a 69 mini humbucking Les Paul. Let's go into the upper. So before this video, I didn't mess with this channel very much to kind of dial it in. So let's do this together. Let's add a little bit of tone, a little more drive. Let's see what happens. We'll call that a modulation there. All right, let's go into this. Hear that? That's fun. God, Steve, ridiculous. So the to me, like if I was playing this amp, and this is just me, is I would probably be using channel 1 with, you know, that tone for a lot of stuff. But if I needed some other things, I'd put some pedals on it to do whatever. But then I'd kick it into this higher gain thing with probably this tone rolled off a little bit to kind of get a good, you know, solo sound. I leave the solos to Ed. I'd have to play them in these videos because I'm the only one here right now. Jesus, that's cool. So. So, like, this is just fun. We're gonna keep going, even though I'm just gonna explore a couple more things. Let's go back to the other channel, and let's go into bright, and let's move the bass and the treble up a little bit. See if we can get a little something gritty out of it. It's got that glassy sound to it, which is freaking awesome. I mean, like, we've been demoing quite a bit of amps lately, you know, and like this thing gets that like glassy sound. I'm sure it's a little bit to do with these mini humbuckers, but man, that sound, I mean, just. You should stop. So let's go back in, just that same setting, but normal instead of bright. So it's starting to sound like I'm in a music store kind of trying out an amp, and it's because it's so much fun. Sorry about that, and sorry about all the untasteful solos and notes, but I don't care. This is just too much fun. All right, so let's do this. Let's switch over to a PRS CE24, just so we can get some full-size humbuckers in this thing, and we'll just go through a few. I'm not going to go as long as I did on the old Les Paul, but let's do it. So you notice like it's got an off and then standby. You got to kind of go across the off switch to kind of do your thing. But let's do this. Let me just kind of set. So we got to do a few setting changes here to kind of get it under control for these humbuckers. So I'm not going to explain every tone I'm chasing here. I'm not really chasing tones. I'm just moving knobs so you can, you know, at home you might watch this and you might say, oh, that's what I would do. And it might fit your style. So I'm just kind of having some fun, you know, doing a few different things. I mean, that's like as pure as it gets. Nice reverb. So let's get a little mojo into it. All right, over to here. Got to lighten up on this. The frets are taller on this. I got to lighten up on the strings. So if I'm out of tune, we're blaming it on the fret size. Off. I mean, that's exactly what you want that to do when you hold that note. Am I right or am I right? So I think that's all we can do right now because I'm just going to sit here and play this thing for like an hour after this. I might get some lunch first, but I'm definitely coming back to play it. Thank you all for stopping by and watching our videos. I am blown away by this amp. Maybe someday we can have Ed play on it and he can do some things on his Strat, you know. It's one thing we didn't get to as a single coil. But put in the comments what you think about it. Tell me you're not allowed to comment on my playing. If you want to compliment me on it, that's fine. If you're not as good as I am, which is very rare, but you should not comment on my playing. You should comment on the tone. If I didn't dial in a tone you wanted, let us know. Maybe we'll make another video. But we're here for you. Rob, me, Ed, we're all here for you. If you have any questions, we're going to answer them all for you. If we got to get the Carr people involved, we will. Hope you enjoyed it. This is a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun with this dude. So thank you guys very much and have an awesome day.